Sarah Jarosz, welcome back to eTown.
Thank you.
So good to have you here. Such a great song, Columbus and 89th.
Thank you so much.
Are you nostalgic for your time in New York?
Yes.
Because that's a very evocative song about a place and a time and.
Yeah, it came about. It was one of the last songs that I wrote for this new record, and I feel like it's an example of one of those songs that sort of processes. The act of writing the song processes your emotion for you after the event. And, it obviously was very personal in terms of leaving New York to go to Nashville at the beginning of the pandemic. But I think in writing it, I was trying to sort of also allow it to be universal in that a lot of people have over all of time, really, that feeling when you have to leave somewhere that you're not ready to or that you don't want to, but maybe that something better is waiting for you, but you just don't know what it is yet.
Well, you certainly moved into a more compact and concentrated musical community. It's one that you were part of, indirectly by just virtue of all the things you've done. But I also suspect there was a little culture shock moving from this community that, the city that never slept, and you live right near all the museums, and now you're in a different place.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Nashville is very different from New York City. But I think, like you said, I spent a lot of time there. I made my first 4 records there, and growing up in Texas, it actually kind of feels more similar to that. So that made the transition a little easier.
Yeah, but you worked for Bob Dylan. He went from New York to Nashville, made the Nashville Skyline record.
If it works for Bob.
Yeah. Is this your 6th or 7th solo record? What number is this?
7th.
7th. Holy smokes. And you're still a teenager, right? Just like you were when we first... Yeah. And this record is all co-writes.
Correct.
Yeah. So that's a very Nashville thing. Is that a new thing for you?
Well, I've definitely co-written before.
Obviously, with John Leventhal, there was a lot of collaboration. And
yes, exactly. With Leventhal and even with writers on some of my albums before that, and then obviously with Sarah Watkins and Aoife O'Donovan and my band with them. But in terms of my own record, I don't know. I think because I had just moved to Nashville, actually living there, I wanted to feel more a part of that community in a way that I hadn't before. And I think I was just at a point in my writing where I felt like I know myself well enough musically at this point to not be worried about my voice getting lost while sitting down with someone else in a room. I think, as a young musician in the music business, it was something that when I was 17 making my first record, lots of managers and
men telling you what to do. Yeah.
Trying to set me up with co-writes. Yeah. And I said no because, I was still finding my own voice on my own, and I didn't want to get lost in that sea.
And this record sonically is also a departure a little bit from your last one. A little more commercial, a little more pop, a little more accessible to certain audiences, and that's must be how you're feeling the songs, and obviously, the circumstances of making the record. Daniel Tashian, right?
He produced it.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled with how it turned out. To your question, definitely. As a music creator, I'm always trying to honor the song, and do what the song wants. And so when I was in the studio this time, it really felt like these songs wanted to be very full and rich in this way, and committing to the drum sound in a way that I hadn't fully committed to before. And I really do. I loved that about working with Daniel Tashian on this record, is he was like, why not? That music is the one thing that we all have where there doesn't have to be rules, and so he encouraged me to kind of go that route.
So now when everybody's listening to the record, you know what you're going to do, which is you're going to check out the drum sound. It's like, I never thought about the drum sound before, but now I'm listening to the drum sound. And of course, Daniel Tashian is a guy who not everybody gets to say the sort of musical family credentials that he does, which is, my dad was on tour opening for the Beatles. He gets to say that. I don't know anybody else who gets to say that.
I don't either.
He does.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, the record's really cool. One of the songs is your homage to mezcal.
Yes.
And your adventures to Oaxaca. And so, what did you learn from you and Jeff going down to Oaxaca? What did that city teach you?
Well, it was really cool. I think it's controversial in that it's starting to be, you're finding it here more, but it's really a sacred thing to their community, and I'm happy that I got to kind of see the creation of it in a way that I don't know, just seeing that these families and how they're just making it in their homes for their community, and it's almost like music in a way. It's like they're just making it, they're honoring the tradition, they're sharing it amongst their communities, and it was just really a special trip. And I got back to Nashville and I was kind of missing it, and decided to write this song kind of honoring that place. Yeah.
Well, it's cool, and you get to share that with your husband, and it is a tradition. I mean, people have been making moonshine in various forms for everywhere, all over the world, forever. And it turns out in Oaxaca it's mezcal, and in Tuscany it's grappa and limoncello, and
totally.
in North Carolina it's moonshine. So lots of touring, lots of traveling. Anything that you're as your career unfolds, I know that when we all start out, we have heroes, we have people that we look up to, we have sort of North Stars musically that we aim towards. And in both your case and mine, we've gotten to meet and collaborate with a lot of those people who were sort of guides for us as we were starting out. Has that been happening to you? Is that still happening for you, where you get to meet and collaborate with some people who are special to you?
Yeah. Oh, I feel so fortunate over the course of my whole career so far to have. That's the best part of what I get to do is collaborating. I mean, playing with these guys in my band. I mean, playing with other musicians. Like that's the best part. I mean, I feel like my ultimate North Star is Paul Simon, and I got to play with him on Live from Here, which was so exciting. Yeah. And now he moved to Wimberley,
which
is crazy. Yeah. So full circle.
You can see him at the grocery store when you go back.
Yeah. But I mean, in terms of, I've been trying to manifest this on this tour. My ultimate, at this point, the person that I want to make music with the most is Bonnie Raitt.
Oh, okay.
So I'm saying it as much as I can.
Okay. All right. All right. The power of positive visualization. It's happening. Well, I think my guess is I remember talking with David Crosby about how excited he was about your music and collaborating with you. And so I'm sure he shared that with Bonnie, just so you know. So the pump has been primed. So it's happening. Listen, let's get back to music. It's wonderful to have you back on the show. The band sounds great. Really enjoyed the new record. And,
Thank you, Nick.
Congrats, Sarah. Good to keep in touch.
Great to see you again.
Welcome back, Sarah Jarosz, along with her band.